Well, the race for Conservative leader came down to a great battle of two political party wings. The Libertarians, represented by one Maxime Bernier, versus the Social Conservatives, really technically sort of represented by Andrew Scheer, but not entirely. When you look at the very first vote that we saw in what was a ranked and runoff ballot system, of the top 6 people that were included, 3 of them were Social Conservatives. Scheer, who did not run a Social Conservative campaign, but historically has voted SoCon. Brad Trost, who was unabashedly conservative, and then Pierre Lemieux, who was very much a new guy on the scene when it came to the Canadian public conscience, who was unabashed also about being a defender of life from a natural birth to a natural death. From right after that first ballot, I went onto my Twitter, I did a little Periscope, and I called the fact that Andrew Scheer would win. Well, the mainstream media on the risers behind us were all saying this is Bernier's to take home. I knew it was going to turn out otherwise, because as soon as Trost and Lemieux were kicked off, well, what happens? Their votes, of course, went to Andrew Scheer. Now, this is what I think going forward. When you look at the two guys, basically a lot of their policies, it really came down to fine-tuning. Andrew Scheer is someone who is massively pro-gun. He's massively pro-free speech. He said that he's going to defund any universities that do not stand with free speech and try to limit it. He also says that he would get our men and women in uniform back involved in the airstrike against ISIS. He's also said things like he is going to kill Trudeau's carbon tax and, of course, the HST on our hydro bells, because, as he put it, it's sort of ridiculous to think that spending winters indoors is a luxury when you're a Canadian. So where do we go from here? If I was a betting woman, I'd say this. I don't think that Justin Trudeau and his Liberal cabal are actually going to be the biggest threat to the new leader of the Conservative Party, Andrew Scheer. I think it's going to be the mainstream media. Already in the wee hours right after, really moments after the declaration of Andrew Scheer's win, what you've heard are all these rumblings from CTV, from CBC, from the Huffington Post, from Global. I'm right here by the risers, I'm listening to it. And what are they all saying? The SoCon knuckle draggers, anti-woman, anti-choicers have won this race. Therefore, the Conservative Party of Canada is draconian, ought to be dismissed. I'm sorry, guys. Andrew Scheer is a 38-year-old man. He's younger, he's hipper, he's fresher than the Prime Minister that we now have. And frankly, he's much more authentic. And if the mainstream media has a problem with the SoCon wing of the party, tough luck, guys, because it was part of their organization that mobilized this party. And they're not party hacks first. They're Canadians first. It was Canadians who helped to elect Andrew Scheer. And if the mainstream media is against them, well, then I'm sorry to say you're going to have to be turning to a lot more of The Rebel and alternative news to find out the truth about what's happening behind the CPC wings. I'm so excited. This is a new day. It feels like high energy. And well, just ensure that you continue to tune in with us to see what happens next. For TheRebel.media, I'm Faith Goldy. If you think that Andrew Scheer can make Canada great again, click below, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.